Hello guys, good day. Um Today what we are doing is Corel, the interface of Corel, the introduction to Corel. As you can see, I've opened my Corel. So what I'm gonna do now is, I don't know why these things are not showing, because I'm actually using Windows 10, so it's not really displaying. So let's get a workshop. So this icon right here is my new icon. This one right here is my open icon. So I'll just click on new to open a new corridor file to work with. Yeah, so I have my new corridor my corridor artboard or something. So let me just explain something about this bar right here. Now I have this color bar. I actually added this, but your own might not look like this. And I'm actually using corridor x5, yes, and it is untitled. So when I hover over these stuff right here, it's showing me window, tools, table, text, bitmaps, effect, arrange, layout, view, edit, and file. So under file we have new, open, close, close all. Under edit we have undo, redo, and all that. View, we have their options too. Now let's get to our first tool. I think we should just explain these bars too right now. So we have this bar here too, which is um I think this is the property bar or something. Yeah. So we have in our property bar, we have new, open, save, we have print, we have cut, we have copy, we have paste, we have undo, redo, import, export, application launcher, welcome screen, zoom levels, and the snap tool, and options plus J. So control plus J for options. That's the shortcut actually. So now let's go to this one right here, this bar. Here we have um a option box where we can choose the size of what we want to work with. Here we have A4, A5, A3, business card. So it will give you the real sizes for those A4, A4, A5, A6, and all that. It will give you the size of business card. Just pick the one you want. Actually, you might not need that one. You can just feel like you want to give your board your size, the size you want. So let me just try to give this a 10 by 10. So this thing is actually a unit. So here we have the type of unit we want. So I have here, we have inches, millimeters, points, pixels, miles, centimeters, Q, and H. Actually, I don't use that one. What I use is inches and feet. So now I'm setting this to 10 by 10 inches. So this one that is up is the width, while the one that is down is the height. So I'm saying this is 10 inches width and 10 inches height. What if I want to set a 10 inches height and 5 inches width? I'm just going to change this on to 5 inches. So I'm going to press enter. Now I have the 5 inches width and I have the 10 inches height. So what if I feel like changing it to a landscape? So here we have these check boxes, or these boxes that we can just check if we want a portrait or a landscape. So I'm just gonna click landscape because we are having it as a portrait. When we have the width smaller than the height, it's gonna be a portrait. But when we have the height smaller than the width, that's gonna be a landscape. So let's change this to a landscape. Now that you see, I has changed to a landscape. So these two guys right here, what they do is that they set the, let me say, um the size you want to use for multiple pages. Like if you want, like this first one now, it will set um the size you want to use for multiple pages. It will set it to the same thing. All the sizes of the pages in your work will be the same thing, but this one will change it to a particular size for a current page. So now if I say this page one should be 10 by 5, and I need to add a page by pressing page down on my computer, or simply pressing this button right here, I'll just press this, so I have page 2. So when I click on this now, I'll have to change, I can change this one to 8 by 6. Now I have this as 8 by 6, this page 2, so page 1 is 10 by 5. But let me come to page 1 and say I want it to be all pages. So when I click this all pages, so if I give this a size 10 by 5, when I click enter, that means it's going to give all the pages in my work the same size. Oh wow, it's not working. Let's just change this to 10 by 5. Okay, so let's add a new page and check. Okay, so you see, so we are adding a new page now. As we have used it as same page, we can, let's try something. 5 times 3. Now when I say it's a 5 by 3, it has changed all other pages too. You see, it will overwrite every pages. So this thing is that when I click this thing now, it will change it in all pages. When I click this thing, when I give it a size, it will change the size in all pages. So I think we get that. And this place right here, you can change the units, so it's either inches or feet or something. So this one, we have the nudge distance. You can change the nudge distance to anyone you want. So we have this duplicate distance. For example, let's say we have an element here. So if you press on Ctrl D, if you press Ctrl D, we have to duplicate. So you can see right here that my duplicate is here, is from this place, from here, from, let's say this is the particular bottom left for the first one. So when I duplicated it, it moved it like maybe, let's say 0.25 inches to the top, and 0.25 inches to the left too. So that's the duplicate distance. So let's for instance, let's change this to 1. Let's see what will happen. So when I bring this here, so when I press Ctrl D, you see is duplicating our elements in a very long distance, and I don't think that's a good one. So let's just leave it at 0.25. 0.25. That's 0.25. You can wonder how I'm just doing it without even highlighting it. So I'm just pressing tab, so it will take me to the next box, so I'll fill it in directly. Let's try this. Okay, so we have it in our normal state. So I think we are good. So let's go to let's now start with explaining our tools. So this is the first tool. Okay guys, so let's start with our tools now. we have this first tool, which is the pick tool. So you can use it to drag anything around. You can use it to make something bigger. You see, when I just look at something, when I over on this point right here, the cursor will change from the normal mouse cursor. Now this is the normal mouse cursor you're seeing. So when I click this, when I come here, it has changed to like a two-headed arrow cursor. So what if I come here too? It's also changing like that. So I can use it to drag. So it's telling me where I can drag. So I can drag to this side and this side. I can drag to top left diagonally and bottom right diagonally. So but this one that is showing at the middle, it means I can drag it. So you must look at those cursors, you must take note of those cursors. When they change, you know that okay, you can do things like this. You have to know about them too. So I can drag. So there's something about these elements on corridor. When I click them once again, like now I'm not clicking anything. So when I click like this for first time and I click again, it's gonna change to this rotation points. So now I can use this to rotate an element. I can use it to rotate it anyhow I like. So now, so what if I want to rotate in a fixed degree? Like now I want actually this is the rotation box. You can edit your rotation here, and we have it from 1 to 360 degree. But I don't want to come here always to put in a rotation degree. So what I'm gonna do is that when I click this rotation, I'll hold my control key, so I will gradually rotate it. So when I rotate it, it's gonna be it's gonna be magneting my mouse to some, at some degrees. It's gonna be magneting my mouse, that's by 15 degrees. So if you look at that rotation box, you see that it has increased to 15. So when I go again to 30, to 45, to 60, to 75, and so on to 90 degree. So this is 90 degree. But let's say we want to make this like a kite or something, so we're just gonna do something like this. So I think we're good now. So that's how to rotate. So let me tell you something about making resizing something. If I want to resize like this, if I drag this, it will go to the right. It will go to the right, only the right. But let's say we want to make it go to the right and left. We want to drag it from the right and left together, like we want to make it bigger in both sides like this. How to do that is just simply by holding your shift key. Just when you click, you hold your shift key and it will make it bigger in both sides. But when I leave my shift, it's not going to do that for me. So this works on every side too. So when I drag from here, if I hold my shift, it's gonna make it bigger in all sides, as you can see. So I can make it bigger and smaller, and you have to make your hand stable when you are dragging these things. You don't just want to drag and later you feel like, what's this? So I think we are good now. So you can do something like this, holding your shift and control together like this. You're gonna get something like this. You can make it bigger and at the same time rotating it in degrees. So I think we are good. And let me tell you something about duplication. You can also duplicate something on corridor, like by just simply dragging with your left dragging. So when you get to where you want to duplicate, you just right click your mouse. So let's just wait. So I think that's good now. So let's click, let's drag it to our left mouse and right click when we get there. So we have duplicated something instead of pressing Ctrl D. And even you can also do something like you can also press plus. Like now, if I just press plus without even clicking on my mouse, just press plus on your keyboard, plus, you have also duplicated. So I'll just remove it. I've created a duplicate. When I do like this plus and I drag again, I have another one. So that's another way of duplicating. So let's go to our shape tool. Shape tool can be used to shape anything in any way. You can use it to do anything. So let's assume we have this circle, this stuff right here. So let me tell you something about drawing shapes. Although we have not gotten there, when you are drawing shapes, you have to, if you want to draw a perfect circle, you hold your control. If it's a square also, if you want to, normally if you want to drag, you can just make it a rectangle or something. But if you hold your control, it will become a perfect square. So let's just enter this with pressing the P key. So don't worry, I'll still give you some shortcuts. I'll see make a video on shortcuts in Corel shortcuts. So um so let's assume we have this circle here. So when I click on my shape tool, so there's something we call making curves. So we can just convert this to curve by right clicking and clicking on convert to curves. Now it's gonna change it to a curve, but we are not doing that. Let's just change it to curve by pressing Ctrl Q. So now we can change it to curves normally, and we can use Ctrl Q to change it to curves. So now it's a curve, but actually it's not a curve before when we just drew it. But now when we click it, when we change it to curve, we can now shape it. So let's change it to a curve, Ctrl Q. So I can shape it anyhow with my shape tool. Now we have these points right here. They look complicated to work with, but they are not really hard to work with. So let's assume we want to create a nice shape right here. So that's how it works actually. So I'm just gonna do something else that will make it look more better. I know you feel like doing, you'll be like, wow, what's this? So let's say something like this. Oh, oh, Corel. So I'm just gonna do this right here. Don't worry, we are still coming to text. So I think we have shaped out this particular circle right here. So I want us to know something about shapes. Now if we click, we have points. Shape. Now on a shape we have some points that you see when I do like this is shaping this particular place and this place together, but we don't want that. What we actually would do is that there are these icons we have here. You can use them to modify a shape with your shape tool. So Now if we over on this, we have convert to line, convert to curve, cusp node, smooth node. So this, let's use this cusp node, because when we click on this point and we drag like this, it's changing both sides, but we don't want that. So we want it to affect only this side, not this side. So what we are going to do is, when we click on that point or we highlight it, so we are going to click on cusp node. So you discover something, that when I click on it, it will get disabled. That means we have used it, so we cannot use it again because it's not in that form that we can use it again. So let's just try this. Wow, 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 it's doing a nice job. It's no more working with this again. So let's try this. Okay, I think this one is still doing that shit we don't want. So we are just going to press this, and now we can reshape our stuff. Oh, let's just do this again. This is graphics. You have to shape it out. You have to do what you gotta do. I believe graphics is very interesting. So I think we good. So